So, I saw this article today. It says here just before House Democrats Tuesday morning, they were supposed to have a come to Jesus meeting with President Biden's path forward. A small group of swing district Democrats held what sources described as a despondent gathering with actual tears. The bloc of battleground House Democrats is one of the last firm pockets of a rapidly disintegrating movement on Capitol Hill to get Biden off the ticket. One shell-shocked lawmaker who was present at the meeting would only offer one word to characterize it as intense. Another described the mood as pretty much unanimous that Biden has got to step down, adding, there were actual tears from people and not from Biden. So, I mean, this is not going to die easily, but it's
Who
going
was
to
that person that gave that person, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it just seems so editorialized.
And it may be, I mean, and somebody may have said it. I mean, I'm sure there are some, because we see this all the
No, I'm
time. We
sure
see
somebody
people.
said it, but did it actually happen like that?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But what's going to happen, Lana, is the dust at some point is going to settle one way or another. And the focus at some point is going to be, do you want democracy or you don't? We could keep playing this fucking game about Joe Biden and whether or not he can remember a fucking sentence. And I got more news for you. I went back and I watched the whole debate the second time. And I know I'm not going to convince anybody, okay? And I'm not even going to try to convince you. But if you didn't watch it a second time, then I'm not really as interested in your opinion on it. But I watched it for a second time. It was not good, no question. It was just not a great performance. But once we got past the first Biden couldn't remember his answer, and then you got past the Biden part where he was talking for some bizarre reason about the pregnant woman who was killed by the undocumented immigrant.
Yeah, that was kind of bad.
I mean, once you got past that part,
right.
I remember in real time you're watching it, and because of those two instances, you're just so sick that you feel like this is not good, and this from this point on is it's just going to destroy this poor guy. But if you go back and watch it again, it's not as bad as you would think it was the first time. So, in other words, I would have given his performance a 2 the first time. Second time, it was more like a 5.5 to a 6. Still not great. But I also noticed more that Donald Trump became more and more unhinged as it went on. And of course, he lied the entire time. So, not trying to convince you that Joe Biden did a good job in that debate. But one thing I will tell you, based on the words, if you just read the transcript of that debate, Joe Biden won the debate. I don't want to hear one more time that Donald Trump
if you just
won
read the transcript, exactly. Donald Trump is just fat. He's just bigger and he's loud. So what does that, and I think people saw that. It's
they
the pundits and the analysts, because when they spoke to the voters afterwards, the first thing that the voters said was Trump lied the whole time. They skipped over Biden's bad performance and said Trump lied the whole time, because a bad performance versus a liar, I'll take the bad performance each and every time. Like,
no question. And again, when I say Biden won the debate, I don't want to try to make it look like that Joe Biden should have walked off that stage with his arms in the air with like the victory thing. But what I will say, it would be more like if you watched one of your favorite sports teams and they won against the worst opponent in the ugliest way, and you're just like, okay, shit, at least they won, I'll take it. That's what it felt like after I watched it the second time. So, I don't know. I mean, that's why it's irritating me more that if you did kind of go back and watch it, you analyzed it just a little bit more instead of the initial, oh my God, Joe Biden forgot some words and he looked and sounded old. Overall, I mean, debate performance and who technically won, Joe Biden, in my opinion, technically won.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Good point. Mhm.
thank you, Lana.